Hi, I'm Larry the Butcher, and this is Properly Caffeinated. It's January 26th. I'm 5 days out from the Women's March that was held in Washington, D.C. and had satellite events all over the world. I could comment, but I'm just completely dumbfounded by it. Was it a fight for women's rights, or was it an anti-Trump rally? Oh! This is Brandon. This is what I want to talk about today. Brandon is kind of named after me, but my name's Larry. Say hi, Brandon.
No.
And Brandon looks a lot like me. Poor kid.
Look, it's saying.
Long time ago, almost 20 years ago, I met a guy who had a TV show on Channel 10 in Niagara. I'm not going to mention his name, but he knows who he is. And he had a show on community television that I thought it was hilarious. It was like 20-second sketch comedy bits. Name That 8-Track was a bit. Going to bus stops and asking what time the 3 o'clock bus comes at. I was on one episode of his show, and the name that I gave my character was Brandon, Manitoba. Brandon, Manitoba is a real city in Manitoba. And I called my character Brandon, Manitoba because Barrie, Ontario would just be cruel. So I was on that one episode, and then I ended up volunteering for the station for like 5.5 years, and some of my best friends, even to this day, are from Cogeco. Yeah, it was a great experience, and it's part of what has given me the ability to do what I do here. My knowledge in cameras and editing to some extent. Now, granted, at the time, we were using tape. We had a non-linear system come in with two tape decks. I never really got into that. No more. Kids are awesome. I recommend to everyone. You are totally missing out on some of the greatest experiences of your life. And now, granted, I was 33 when Grace was born. I was 43 when Brandon was born. 45 when AJ was born, and there could be more. Who knows? But we're providing. I should have gotten that on video. And when Grace was coming, if it was a boy, if Grace ended up being a boy, his name would have been Brandon Lawrence Storm. I got Grace Lillian Storm, and she is just the jewel of my life. We found out Brandon was coming, and I don't want to name a girl. I just don't want. There's no girl names that pop out, and cast your own conclusions on that. But you know what? I figured if it's a boy, I should name it. If it's a girl, the mom should name it. That's kind of fair. All I wanted was Brandon, and it started as Brandon Lawrence. Then I thought of Brandon Mike for a while, and then my father-in-law is a pretty stand-up guy. I like him. So his name's Mark, and we ended up with Brandon Mark Storm. You're wondering where I'm going with this. You will soon find out. So, Brandon is kind of named after me, but he isn't. I, on the other hand, I have the exact same name as my dad, Larry Ross Storm. Now, I've got some baptismal names and all that because I was raised Roman Catholic, and my dad was Anglican when he was born. He converted. So here's what I want to talk about. Do not name your son Junior. And I'll give you a lot of really good reasons. Some of them benefit your son, and some of them will benefit you, Dad. The dad. I was about 15 years old when I ended up being bigger than my dad. But I was still little Larry. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade really made me hate Junior. And that's when my dad turned the volume up with Junior and Little Larry and stuff like that. That's another story. I think... Now keep in mind, I have the exact same trade that my dad has. So that creates a lot of friction there, too. So basically, I have followed his footsteps almost verbatim. He doesn't have a YouTube channel. If he does, I'd like to find it, but no, he doesn't, as far as I know. The kid deserves their own identity. The kid deserves to follow their own path. These two sons I have and my daughter will follow very different life paths than I have. Hopefully in many ways. I've made more than my fair share of mistakes in life, which we may talk about on this segment of, properly caffeinated. Would my relationship have been different if I had a name different? My mom said that she wanted to name me Mike. Do I look like a Mike? I don't know. I like being Larry. Larry's a stand-up kind of a, laid back but ready to get into the fight kind of name. So I don't mind being Larry. Thought about changing my name back in the day, but there were too many complications, too much friction. Working for your dad and living in the same house, not a good combo. Dads, let's say Junior, whatever his name is, goes out and gets a loan to buy a car he can't afford. Well, his name is John Smith II. So if he just puts down John Smith and his social security number and his social insurance number are optional, there is a very legitimate risk of credit fraud. Many occasions I've gone looking for credit and some of my dad's stuff comes up on my credit. And I'm sure the same has happened. Actually, I know the same has happened. More about that later. The greatest honor I will ever have, other than seeing my 3 kids turn out into being good, stand-up, self-sufficient people, will be that if I've given them enough respect and enough honor, that when they have kids, if they name a kid Larry. Me naming a kid Larry is a complete bullshit thing. Ego boosting, tub thumping kind of thing. Don't do it. Give them their own identity. Give them their own life. It's taken me a long time to get to where I am. Especially considering, we're in the same trade. We know a lot of the same people. I had a conversation today. I guess that's where I want to end with this. And going back to the Women's March, I have no idea what to talk about. I just, I have no idea. And no, it's not that somebody had posted something on Facebook. It was the picture of the vagina hats, and I'm like, I can take a conversation as seriously with a person in a vagina hat as I can with a person dressed as a penis. Draw your own conclusions. I, of course, am Larry the Butcher. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this episode. Like this episode if you like it. Dislike it if you disliked it. Comment down below. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see what I say next. Find me on social media. If you like what I'm saying, if you like my other videos, maybe chip in Patreon. And it's going to be a give back kind of thing. I'm just trying to formulate how it's going to work. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again later.